Take a deep breath. Take it.
So hackers were able to unredact all of the Epstein files. And now look what Trump is telling the citizens of Iran to do. Leave Iran now. That is what a lot of people are saying. He's going to do this to distract, but that's all it's just hypothetical. Watch this. Epstein files are being unredacted by hackers. If successful, expect Trump to launch a military attack on Iran. If all names are exposed, then it puts Netanyahu on a timer. So this person said this at 2/5/26. And just a little bit later, the U.S. Embassy tells citizens to. Isn't that insane? Flight cancellations and disruptions are possible with a little bit warning. Yeah, guys, let me know what y'all think in the comments. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. It's gonna be
What's up, family? Donald Trump, your president, is shaking in his boots. There are reports that Iran hackers have files of Donald Trump from the Epstein files. I mean, they got video images of Trump doing strange things with youngsters. Yeah, fam. That's the claim. He's doing some strange stuff with little girls. Give me a thumbs up if you believe it, fam. Thumbs up. Thumbs down if you say, nah, man, we don't even know them people, man. We wouldn't trust them people. We don't even know them. Why would we trust what they're saying? I'll give you a few moments to think about it. Okay, time's up. Family, I don't know what it is. I don't know what the truth is, but Iran is saying that if Trump don't back off, this is according to reports, if Trump does not back off of this so-called invasion and attack of Iran, they're going to release those files. I say, why not release them anyway? I mean, just on the strength of integrity, why not release the files if you are a country worthy of respect? If you really stand for something, why not just release them anyway? Because right now it sounds like to me that everybody's playing the blackmail game. You know, like, yo, we're going to protect these people as long as we can get something out of it. So, you know, you got these US-Iran tensions, and they're at a fever pitch. Trump has consistently threatened to invade Iran. He's consistently threatened to bomb Iran. And Iran has said consistently that if you do that to us, if you invade us, we will strike you personally, Trump, and we will not miss. That's what they said. They said, we won't miss this time. Implying that they tried to. Get them before. Yeah. They say, yeah, if you come over here with that, you try that, what you did in Venezuela, we are going to come for you. We're going to target you. We are going to get you. We're going to hit you, Trump, and we're not going to miss this time. So the question is Trump going to take on the challenge? Will he accept the challenge? Will he accept the challenge? Or will he fall back and save his own skin? I don't know if Trump is willing to go there. Trump is a classic bully. And bullies do not like formidable opponents. Like some people like formidable opponents because it.
As the nation has been watching the president of the United States pitch a temper tantrum because he did not win the Nobel Peace Prize. He's mad at Norway. He's mad at the winner. He's mad at the Democrats. He's mad at Obama. He's mad at everybody because this man will never be filled up. He is incredibly broken. And he is in the epicenter of the Epstein files. And so now what he's going to do is what all Republican presidents always do, take us to war in the Middle East, pop up this headline. Bombshell report reveals Trump positioned for all-out war with Iran by Saturday. Needless to say, I think the polling is 80% of Americans do not want to go to war with Iran. The only people who want this are Benjamin Netanyahu. Some tidbits online that I'm seeing, I don't know if this is substantiated, but the Ayatollah, I think he said that he has video of Trump on the island. And then people have also said, okay, well, you know, Netanyahu has videos too, because Israel's all over the Epstein files. And so we have a completely compromised president who doesn't want the country to know about all of his doings on in the Epstein files. So we're going to go to war with Iran. It's just so maddening. It's so maddening.
It's so infuriating because I too have read that online on several different spots about compromising information that Iran's going to release. But my thing is, when I look at this, I think Donald Trump, he's a titty baby about the Nobel Peace Prize. He has diminished capacity. He is in cognitive decline. He should not be in charge of a pet, much less starting a war. And then you have the Secretary of Defense, who is almost, if not more, a bigger moron. So this is absolutely terrifying on every level, because we have somebody in charge that doesn't know a thing about it, that's trying to cover their own ass, and a Department of Defense secretary that is a complete dipshit.
And also, we have a president and a Congress that always does what Benjamin Netanyahu wants first, and then deals with America and Americans' lack of health care, the grotesque national deficit, the injustices of the Epstein files. But we always tend to do whatever Benjamin Netanyahu wants us to do. And it's such a moral failure of both parties. And there is some rare bipartisanship consistently in the House. It is my opinion that Hakeem Jeffries needs to step down. He is compromised by Palantir. He's compromised by AIPAC. He's a feckless, ineffective minority leader. And Ro Khanna consistently is able to speak out for working class Americans.
reportedly carrying Russian fuel, is on its way to Cuba, a move putting Donald Trump's sanctions to the test as the island nation faces a deepening energy crisis. According to a Bloomberg report, the ship Seahorse is set to arrive in early March, carrying much-needed fuel to Cuba. Cuba is facing the worst energy crisis, falling short of fuel critical for cooking, transportation, and power generation. The available electricity has plummeted since the beginning of the year, and satellite images found the level of power at night down by almost 50%, the report added. The vessel Seahorse received supplies in a ship-to-ship transfer off the coast of Cyprus and is likely carrying nearly 200,000 barrels of Russian gas oil. Gas oil refers to diesel-type fuels used in transportation and power generation.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking.
The supplier to cut off shipments as well.
Is right now a failed nation, and they don't even have jet fuel to get for airplanes to take off. They're clogging up their runway. We're talking to Cuba right now, and Marco Rubio talking to Cuba right now, and they should absolutely make a deal because it's really a humanitarian threat. And we have a lot of great Cuban Americans, and they're going to be very happy when they're going to be able to go back and say hello to their relatives and do things that they should have been allowed to do for a long time. I'm very interested in the people that are here that were treated so badly.
Swiftly ordered the interim government
the largest individual taxpayer in history. So I paid $10 billion in tax, over $10 billion in tax. You're welcome. Like I sort of thought maybe the IRS would send me like a little trophy or something. Yeah, like one of those, like, doesn't have to be expensive. It could be. Feel like, one of those like things you get for when kids win a karate competition, like little plastic gold trophy or something like that, or a cookie or something. But I didn't get anything. It's like, and but I was happy to pay the taxes. I don't mind, Yeah, it's a good week this week. Yeah, stock market's a wild sort of roller coaster. I think Warren Buffett's got a good. A lot of good sayings, actually, but one of his sayings, I believe, is like, having a publicly traded company is like having someone stand outside your house and yell house prices all day, and it's still the same house. And you're like, why is this person yelling house prices at me?
Your Excellency, राष्ट्रपति लूला, दोनों देशों के डेलीगेट्स, मीडिया के साथी, नमस्कार, बोआ तारदे। राष्ट्रपति लूला
Harlem Swag was about being cool for girls. We lived to fuck.
Talk that shit, man. Talk that shit.
And honestly, what else is there to live for but the fuck? Anything else is gay. or if you want to fuck the same sex, I mean, it is what it is.
Pause. I ain't gonna lie, we probably had the longest stretch of non-pause in here.
Well, I invented that, or my crew.
I was gonna ask you that, DJ, pause.
They taking it overboard now, cause some shit is just.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. OG take it by as far as it can go.
Yo, have you been seeing them fucking Epstein files?
Pause. That's pause.
Pause is necessary.
Yeah, that's fast. What kept you away from that type of shit, the Epstein shit? There's a lot of people in them files.
I'm not gay.
Simple and fucking plain, nigga.
That's that.
Hey, simple and plain, nigga.
Hey.
Don't play like that,
Right.
nigga. Nah, for real.
A nerd can't tell me what to do or influence me. This is what I know. My partners, people that I work with, people I've teased, people I've laughed at, people's wife that I've fucked. Them niggas in the Epstein files.
Jeez.
That shit scares me because they eating the rumor, allegedly. Because I don't understand everything I read and everything I hear.
Propaganda.
But the shit is crazy.
Yeah.
But what I do know is my name ain't been mentioned. And if you did mention my name, immediately I'd be like, y'all bugging. Show me some footage. what I know is God sent evil to test you. But if you don't succumb to evil, evil will spare. Because all my partners that are being mentioned, I've hated them for a while for the betrayal. But now I'm like, damn, you love me so much that you wouldn't include me.
Right.
So now Jay's my brother. I love him. And if what they say is true, he's a devil.
What's
But
the
if he's
betrayal
not,
there? I gotta
it
ask
is
you.
what it is. But somebody's lining him up. But if he is, he actually spared me because I never got involved.
Yeah.
He never let me know about. Any of those evil things. So now I love him for that.
But
More.
then what's the betrayal there with Jay? Like,
But you ain't fuck with didn't know
fully.
yo.
I want to
Just
know though.
just listening to white people.
I'm talking shit. I'm talking shit. I said you ain't fuck with Diddy for real, but I'm talking shit.
No, I didn't fuck with him. But I respected him.
Right.
I still respect him.
Right.
I respect him because he never folds. That nigga fights till the end. That nigga ran a marathon, pissed on himself, toenails popped off. That nigga he's ill. Even if it's evil ill, and can I get another drink? But even if it's evil ill, it's respectable. You gotta respect your enemy when they fight hard. Harlem Sweat.
for? I said, I'm here to help Michael. Oh, he said, oh no, we don't. That ain't what we want with you. We heard it that your boy spent nights at the house. We want to know if Michael tampered with him. I just picked him up or touched him in any kind of way. If he did, we got $200,000 for you. I said, huh? I had just got out of prison. I said, man, I can't do that. Can't tell no lie like that. I ain't doing that. He said, you show what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna draw a check up, a contract up, and I'm gonna show you. We're finna give you $200,000.
So they want to pay you $200,000 to say that Michael Jackson molested your kids.
Yeah, just touched him or whatever, molested, touched him or anything.
What would you have done if you found out that Michael Jackson molested your kids?
What you think I would have done, man? I'm a gangster. Come on, man.
Right.
It'd have been a problem. Come on.
Right. Well, you told me back when we met up years ago that if that would have happened, you would have killed Michael Jackson.
If he'd have touched my kids?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. But I love Mike, and I know Mike didn't do that, so he didn't have no problem worried about me.
Exactly. Right. But and I remember you had shown me a picture a while back.
Right.
It was your son at Michael Jackson's house wearing his underwear, but that was a personal picture that you took.
I took that picture. They just got out of the swimming pool.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
took that picture.
But they wanted to use that picture as evidence against Michael Jackson.
Right. Yes, they did. Yeah.
Okay, but you weren't going for it.
For that now.
Okay, and Michael Jackson ended up winning the case.
Yes. And matter of fact, I was on my way down to help him win the case when I got a phone call from Messenger and said, we don't need you. I said, what I'm here for? I said, I'm here to help.
Pretty deep spiritual message behind it. Let me break it down. So the movie starts out by showing us the house in complete and utter chaos. All of the kids are running around. They're not listening to their parents. And matter of fact, they're all very rude.
Hi, hey, son, I just bought that. Big fella, hey, little guy.
I mean, not only that, we also see our main character, Kevin, who blatantly disrespects his mom.
Kevin, out of the room.
Hang up the phone and make me, why don't you?
Now remember, the whole house is like this. All of the kids are rude and it's just complete chaos there. The parents really have no control and there's disrespect all around. It's almost like a house full of sin. Now, what's crazy is we also see the burglar appearing as a cop.
Don't worry about your home. It's in good hands.
Not only is that clear as day, the devil appearing as an angel of light symbolism, but the house being in utter chaos is a symbolism because that's how the devil works. When there's no order, it's easy for him to show up, and that is the burglar. Then we see a man named Old Man Marley. Now he's going to become significant later on, but right now, take a look at what he's doing.
He walks up and down the streets every night, salting the sidewalks.
Him salting the earth is actually very important, right? So that's straight out of Matthew chapter 5, verse 13. It says, "Ye are the salt of the earth." So now later on, I'm going to connect why that's significant, but keep that in mind. Then Kevin makes a ginormous mess and he disrespects his mom again.
You're the only one acting up. Now get upstairs.
I am upstairs, dummy.
Did anybody notice that on Home Alone, when his older brother and him got into the argument and they got into a little fight at the dinner, that milk spilled all over Kevin's airplane ticket and passport, and his dad actually threw it away? Let's rewind it. So let's show you. I never really noticed this.
Did anyone else notice in the movie Home Alone, the famous van scene right here was actually filmed backwards? In the scene where Kevin... Did anyone else notice this movie?
6 interesting details in Home Alone that nobody noticed. Actually, have you noticed these 5 interesting details in Home Alone?
When it came to Home Alone, Warner Brothers made the biggest mistake in movie history. Home Alone turns 35 years old this month, so here's
Where's Mr. Epstein?
Down the hall and to the left.
Thanks. Where's Mr. Epstein?
Down the hall and to the left.
Thanks. Where's Mr. Epstein?
Down the hall and to the left.
Thanks.
Year you invited us back this year, and Howard, I know that you got a goal of 12 million today. You were telling me that the volatility is good, and that's good for a day like today, so that you can raise more money and give more to charity.
Right. So our company loves volatility. So the busier it is, a little chaos, a little excitement, that creates volume. And so, you know, Friday.
The internet is trying to figure out who is this Republican politician in the Epstein files that bragged about getting more votes than Jeb Bush and said love ya to Epstein. This is an email Epstein received from a redacted sender during the 2016 presidential primaries. The subject is I beat Bush, and it says, "Hi Jeffrey, I got more votes than Jeb Bush got in Iowa, and I only had 1 congressional district, he had 4. It's so funny to me, totally embarrassing to him, still like Trump and might be a delegate to the Republican convention." They talk about going to the Caribbean and end with love ya. So a lot of internet sleuths think it must be someone who ran against Jeb Bush in the primaries that year, like Marco Rubio or Ben Carson, because they both beat him. Others guess it was Rand Paul because he only won 1 delegate in Iowa. But I personally don't think it was someone who was running in the 2016 presidential election, because the sender says still like Trump and might be a delegate at the Republican convention. I don't think one of Trump's competitors would say they like him, especially at that point in time. And if you're running for president, you are not thinking about being a delegate. You're thinking you'd be at the convention as the nominee, which is why I'm subscribing to the theory that the sender is Gwendolyn Beck, a close friend of Epstein's and Trump supporter, who ran for Virginia's 5th congressional district in 2014 and got 5,420 votes, which is just more than Jeb's 5,238 votes. Gwendolyn Beck worked as Epstein's money manager in the 90s and was a regular face at his parties, like here she is with him, Prince Andrew, and Melania. And Epstein survivor Virginia Giuffre actually mentioned Gwendolyn Beck in some of her testimonies, saying that she'd been involved in an orgy on Epstein Island and was part of some of the trafficking. And when Gwendolyn Beck ran for Congress, Epstein donated to her campaign, and at that time he had already served jail time for being a convicted sex offender. And she was asked why she accepted Epstein's money. She said, "I am deeply opposed to and shocked by his behavior, but he has paid his debt to society. Although humanly flawed, he can be a great asset to our nation because he understands finance on a level most people can't comprehend." That's a ridiculous way to excuse the harm that Epstein was doing. Anyway, what do you guys think? Who is the redacted sender who actually isn't supposed to be redacted, because legally the DOJ cannot shield people for their reputations like that? News Girls has been digging through the Epstein files and bringing you the important revelations we find, so follow to stay in the loop.
of Barack Obama at summer camp, Interlochen summer camp. And directly above him is Jeffrey Epstein. Now, why is that interesting? Because those aren't the only two famous politicians, famous people that went to this summer camp with Barack Obama. These people all grew up together. Okay, there's also Bill Barr, Jim Jordan, and John Podesta. So I find it a little interesting when people say, oh, we live in a free country. You know, we get to pick our presidents. We choose who we want to lead us. Yeah, chances are we don't. I mean, let's dive a little deeper into Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein's wife is Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell's father is Robert Maxwell. Robert Maxwell owns a printing press called Pergamont Press, which is where in America we get all of our school books from, all of our learning from him. So, wow, isn't that just weird? Why are we getting our school books from Mossad agents? All right, we need to start opening our eyes and connecting the dots. These politicians are not here for you. They're here for themselves, and they're here for their mission that they're on. And their mission is not to better you. It's not to make your life better or easier. It's not so that you can become enlightened. They don't care about you, okay? This, ladies and gentlemen, looks a lot like a CIA type picture. You know, all the boys hanging out at the CIA summer camp. I mean, that's just my opinion, but give me a break. These people were friends as children, all right? They all grow up in it. They all grow up together. It's all intertwined, and none of them are here for you. This is why there are two giant fasci as a backdrop for the House of Representatives. Remember that. Maybe look into it. If you want to learn about symbols and about what's really going on in the occult world, which just means hidden and secret, go to my website where everything is for free. I love you all so much, and this is my opinion.
It's 67 words long, it's 100 years old, and it changed the course of history for the Middle East and the Jewish people. The Balfour Declaration, the expression of the British government's support for a Jewish home in Palestine, was sent by British Foreign Secretary Arthur Balfour to the second Lord Rothschild. I'm here in Buckinghamshire at Waddesdon Manor to speak with the fourth Lord Rothschild about the Balfour Declaration, what it means for Britain, for the Jewish people, and the Rothschild family.
The Foreign Office, November the 2nd, 1917. Dear Lord Rothschild, I have much pleasure in conveying to you, on behalf of His Majesty's government, the following declaration of sympathy with Jewish Zionist aspirations, which has been submitted to and approved by the Cabinet.
So it's possibly the most famous letter in modern Jewish history, and it begins with three words: Dear Lord Rothschild. Why was it that this letter was sent by the Foreign Secretary to your great-uncle Walter?
It's an interesting question because he was really interested in ornithology, although he became interested in Zionism. And I think the reason was this, that it was primarily a movement from Eastern Europe, but they didn't clarify who was in charge of that movement.
First of all, Israel is a true friend. It is our greatest ally in the region. And if Israel is attacked, America will stand with Israel.
This video is most likely going to get taken down, but I'm going to try my luck anyway because this connection is insane. Obviously on the right is none other than Barack Obama, right? But when you look on the left side is former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak. This was from an article in 2016. Barak also says that contrary to popular belief, President Barack Obama has been a close supporter of Israel. He says it's true that on the public face of it, it seems that there's more friction with Obama than there appears to have been with George W. Bush. But I can tell you that under the guidance of President Obama, Israel enjoyed the closest ever relationship with the American intelligence community. If you don't know much about Ehud Barak, this is all you really need to know. He completed a 36-year career in the Israeli Defense Forces as the most decorated soldier in its history. But get this right, Ehud Barak said that Benjamin Netanyahu cost Israel $4.5 billion in defense aid because of Netanyahu's strained relations with President Barack Obama. The memorandum increased assistance for Israel over the deal signed in 2007 under the George W. Bush administration, which guaranteed Israel $31 billion by 2017. Who was president in 2017? And we'll get to him here in a second. But Barak argued in an interview that the increase is only nominal and that in real terms, aid has decreased.
Same man whose name appears in the Epstein files on multiple occasions, and while appearing in the files doesn't necessarily mean knowledge of Epstein's crimes, this is the same man whose survivors have long said provided Epstein with vast sums of money. The same man who Virginia Giuffre testified in a deposition that Epstein trafficked her to and who she said she had sex with multiple times. Buckner, we should note, denies that. He's also the same man whose name has become part of the very first Epstein accusation reported to law enforcement. Both Maria and Annie Farmer suffered abuse at the hands of Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Maria testified that she was assaulted in the same town where Wexner lives, and today's deposition occurred in the same town where she said that she was prevented from leaving to tell her story. By this
has scores, if not hundreds, of nuclear weapons, and you did not mention it. Why is Israel allowed illegally to hold scores, if not hundreds, of nuclear weapons in defiance of the law, uninspected by any agency?
COVID can cause altered smell
There it is,
or parasomnia, where things smell distorted.
Afternoon, a mother says she just wants answers after her special needs son is found wandering miles away from his school when he was supposed to be in class.
I don't feel safe. I'm just scared to go back. There's something could happen that same day again.
11-year-old Richard Harley says he doesn't want to go back to class after he was found wandering, scared and alone, miles away from school grounds following a...
Yes. Yeah. And what was the thought process behind it? When you talked to a doctor about this, what did they tell you was wrong with you?
They told me I was bipolar. And I remember going on TMZ and saying, slavery is a choice. And they medicated me for saying that, for having that opinion and saying it out loud. But as I put those contracts up, I'm saying, this is a choice. As I,
You didn't mean people being abducted and brought into slavery and put into chains was a choice. What you were talking about is people making decisions that would enslave them financially and enslave their life.
Yeah.
But it was taken out of context, and it was taken in the least charitable way, and they decided to try to say, look at crazy Kanye, look at this shit he's saying.
Yeah.
And then they medicate you.
Yes. And the media is always taking anything out of context that isn't a part of the overall narrative.
Yeah.
That because there's, like Hollywood and media has controlled so much of the narrative. And then you had Silicon Valley. And that's what's so beautiful about one of my heroes, Steve Jobs, because there wouldn't be a Silicon Valley, or Silicon Valley wouldn't be what it is today if Steve Jobs didn't make information accessible like this, which is still a bit controlled, but it feels like Twitter is the safest, freest mass platform to communicate on. And, it's like they mess with Jack because of that,
Well, they said